Hello everyone and welcome back to Oxen Essentials. On this video, we're going to be talking about multiplication in terms of making integers fractions. What is this? Well, let's take a look at some example problems. We have 3, 2, 8, 3, 5, 7, 2, 8 times 25. And on the other hand, let's take 4, 8, 7, 1, 6 times 33.3. Now the key to this trick is to think of these two numbers that you're multiplying. In this case, it's 25 in the first problem and 33.3 repeating in the second one, and convert numbers to the form of 100 over x. Now what do I mean by this? Well, let's take 25 for example. 25 in terms of 100 over x, well, let's solve for what exactly is x. Multiply both sides by x to get 25x is equal to 100, and divide both sides by 25 to isolate the x to get that x is equal to 4, which means that we can rewrite this 25 to 100 divided by 4. And then we can also rewrite, of course, this long number here, 328,35728, and multiply it in terms of this fraction. Now, why does this fraction make it easier to multiply? Well, we can think about multiplying by 100 and divided by 4 as dividing the number by 4 and then multiplying by 100. And in many cases, this can save you large amounts of time, especially in competitions and competitive practices. Because right when you get this number here, this fraction in terms of 100 over x, you can instantly start saying the answer. Because division goes from left to right, the same way that we read and understand numbers. So let's take a look at dividing by 4. Dividing this number by 4, we can pair the 3 and the 2 to get 8. Then we move on to this 8. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Move over to the 3. Well, you can't do anything with that, so let's pair it up after putting a 0 with the 5. 35 divided by 4 gives us around, well, 8 again, and it leaves us with the remainder of 3. Move the 3 to the 7, and we get 9, because 37 is a bit more than 36, which is 4 times 9, to get a remainder of 1. This 1 can pair up with the 2, and we can divide it by 4 to get 3. And at the very end, we have another 8. 8 divided by 4 is 2. And now that we've divided this, and we've gotten rid of the 4 essentially, because we've divided it by 4 already, we just had to multiply it by 100. And how to do that? You just add 2 zeros to the end, giving us this insanely large number in the matter of 30 seconds. And in fact, you can do this really in the blink of an eye if you are constantly updating your division skills. This could be absolutely vital in competitive and competition math, and it can even save you time on a non-calculator test. But let's take a look at another example. In this case, we have 48716 times 33.3 repeating. The first thing that we have to do is get this 33 in terms of 100 over x. And from basic number sense, instead of having to do all of this complex and time-consuming math, instead, we can just know from past experiences that 100 divided by 3 is what gets us 33.3 repeating. So let's rewrite this equation. We have 48716 times 100 over 3. First thing we'll do is divide by 3. And doing so, if we move from left to right in this direction, we get 1, gives us a remainder of 1, paired up with the 8 to get 6, gives us 0 left, so we move on to the 7. 7 divided by 3 gives us an answer of 2 with 1 remaining, paired up with this one to get 11, then divide that by 3 to get 3, and we are left with a 2 and a 6, the very last number. Now this is divisible by 3 in terms of 8, giving us a remainder of 2. A final remainder of 2. Now, what's important to note here is that when you get this remainder, you have to divide it by the original fraction, the denominator of this original fraction, because this is what gets you the very last set of numbers. In this case, we get the number to be 0.6 repeating. Now, keep in mind, we can't just add 0.6 repeating to the end of this number because we haven't multiplied by 100 yet. So instead, what we can do is that by knowing that this 0.6 repeating is just 66666 forever and onwards, instead we can move this decimal point by 2 points. Because we know that when you're multiplying by 100, this simply means that you're moving the decimal 2 spaces to the right. That means that at the end of this large number here, 16,238, well, it actually turns into 16238, 6.6 repeating. And that's a basic overview on multiplying through fractions. Converting numbers in terms of 100 over x can make multiplying much easier because instead of multiplying by a tens digit and a ones digit, you can easily be doing simple division and adding 2 decimal spaces to the right.